Hello, Victor here, restoredmercedes.com. This is another part for Aislad in Maryland, and right at the moment I finally have whole headliner and sunroof assembly, just the glass rather than the frame. They're removed so I can have access to drains. Before I show you that, these are the parts, and some people will say, well, you know, you're working outside, laying it on the floor like that. Well, think about having this all done in the shop where you got stuff all over, dirt all over, and all of these clean parts will be right on, you know, dust on them and all that stuff. So to me, this is actually more fortunate. I had a shop before, so I know how it is in the shop environment. None of these things would have been clean. So what I'll do is I'm going to take these parts inside the house, so they will remain clean and no dust or anything on them. For the time being, I'm fixing the roof, so these are going to be stored indoors. Now, good thing, bad thing. Bad thing is pretty much all the clips deteriorated. They all came right off. The glue is extremely soft. There's nothing really left off it. So all of these will need to be re-glued. I will re-glue all of the mounting points. Headliner mounting point, the rail on the over here is also came off, but it will work just fine though. This is gonna work. I mean, it's fine. It's not critical parts that are broke off. I mean, yeah, clips are bad to get broken, but at least we do not have fabric that actually came apart. All of this is still intact. The fabric is what's important to me, at least. I mean, okay, so let's get to business end here. In order to remove the headliner, obviously C-pillars, A-pillars, all of that come out. The seats come out, the speaker shelves come out, seat belts undone, sunroof and all that stuff come out. Obviously, whole frontal here comes out. These are some parts that I just laid down. Oh, the mirror is very poor shape because of this aftermarket mirror you had. This thing basically collapsed. It's still there, it's holding on, but barely. So that's really, there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, I'll work around it, maybe put a couple of tie wraps around, because you still have aftermarket mirror, which is actually awesome. I really do like it. The observation is just like phenomenal with that mirror. I never thought of doing it, and just for the reason is because the plastic around the original mirror is very fragile and it gets brittle really fast. I mean, you can see some cars that have mirrors for like 25 years and the mirror is like new. When the Mercedes mirror plastic deteriorates, it gets dry. Okay, so obviously all of that is removed. So here is the roof, bare roof with sunroof frame installed in it. So what you notice here is that you have over there, as you can see, there is a drain. This is the channel. This is all the channel where water remains, and it just goes that way, and all around the sunroof. And these are our affected areas. Finally, to get to them, these are your drains for the front. As you can see, rusted, separated, pretty bad. So I'm going to work with this and see what I can do to reattach this, because it is actually a frame of a sunroof. So in theory, it would have held if it would have not rusted. So I guess there was water stain in here and basically went away with rust. This has to be reattached, of course. Well, it actually remains, but very little. I'm gonna have to do something with it. I didn't come up with the idea yet, but I'll figure it out, because if you pull this pipe too far, you will separate it from inside here, and then the dashboard has to come out to get to that pipe. I was just having an idea, having some sort of an extension made, a rubber hose all the way to the base of a drain, and then plastic hose in this drain, and then the rubber hose and plastic hose, they will meet somewhere here, but it's going to overlap a lot. That was my idea. And then obviously clamps. Okay, zip ties probably not a good idea, but clamps, or maybe clamps and zip ties, I don't know yet. We'll figure out. I'll just make another shot of what it's going to look like. Now let's see for this side. Let's look at this side. This is the driver's side. Story repeats itself. I don't know why, but as you can see, it just separated. Okay, I've seen this before. It's not new to me, but the top there feels okay. Although, as you can see, we have rust coming right out. It could have been that it was blocked off and water remained in the drain. As you can see, all of this rust. Obviously, the car will have to be washed and vacuumed. That's not a something not to be concerned of right now. This pipe, okay, so it is attached. That's great. So it's not disconnected in the A-pillar down under. So, like I said, this is the water collector here and all the way there. So in the back, the collector becomes larger, and these are the drains that go down in the back. Nice and secure, actually. And also, as you can see, a white paint, just like on the front ones, but front ones came off. Rear ones stay tight, very tight actually. As a matter of fact, they're not even bulging. I cannot even go further with them. Pretty good. So the other side is pretty much the same. Another point I wanted to make is there is no insulation in there to worry about that falls off and blocks your sunroof, because if there is a roof insulation, then it usually comes off and just blocks the sunroof. The bad news is that one of the sunroof rails is actually not happy. This one is broken off. So these are the pieces that I retrieved from sunroof rail on the driver's side. Here is an extension piece that's supposed to hold rear frame in place. This is another piece of plastic of some sort. It's just, come on, focus now. These cameras, I tell you. Alright, so there's some sort of other plastic piece here, and this one is a grommet. It's a rubber grommet that goes over a piece of metal, so metal to metal contact does not happen. It's just that the metal goes over the rubber, but this is broken. Now, sunroof still works. I would probably advise not to really use it often, to be honest with you, because of that situation. You know what, okay, I'll close this. I'll close the roof now. Let's see if I can put on the ignition. Alright, so let me close the roof. And here you're gonna see this rail right here broken. So this is how it should have been. You can see the pieces. I found pieces in there. I'm not sure if I can reconnect it. I'll try to epoxy this. Fiberglass would have been probably better, but I don't have fiberglass, unfortunately. I do have it, but it's too old, so I don't know what I'll do with this. Maybe I'll just epoxy the hell out of it and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so this is what we're going to do with this rubber piece. This rubber grommet should have went onto this piece right here. You see how shiny it is? This piece of metal. This is where the grommet is missing. It is not something of extreme importance. I can basically just let it be like that because it's not even touching the metal, so we can leave it be. So basically, I guess this is the update that I wanted to make, just to show what's happening. And I might have to just leave the sunroof out, the glass, before I finish the roof work, drain work and all that, and also gluing off the extension piece. All of that will remain open. I'm just going to seal it with tape and plastic so water doesn't get in or elements don't get in. And at the end I'll wash the car and vacuum the car, so it's going to be nice and clean. So this is basically going to be all for this update, because this is a long video again. Just wanted to show what's happening there and basically how under the roof looks. These are all the retainers that became super, the glue just like literally it just comes right off. Very, very soft. So I hope I will be able to glue them well and reattach everything the way it was intended to be. Alright, so this is all for now, and this is Victor at HistoriaMercedes.com, and thank you for watching.